I wasn't born in Kentucky, but I came here as soon as I could. I've lived here now over half my life. I grew up the first 10 years of my life in a small town in Michigan. Actually up there, they're called villages. And my maternal grandfather, who is a very strong role model for me, was the mayor. He always had a full-time job as an insurance adjuster, but he worked as a police officer, a justice of the peace, a fireman, in addition to being a mayor. And so obviously, you know, that was something that made an impression on me. I've always had that sort of sympathetic ear for the kind of infrastructure and services that city residents require. And so you could say it's in my blood. I was elected to the Senate in a special election in 2003. I moved to Georgetown in the year 2000, one of the best decisions I've ever made. I love it there, and it's been the perfect place for me to live, and my kids too, my kids growing up there. There are a lot of folks who live in cities, and it's kind of a microcosm of Kentucky. And what most people don't realize is a majority of people in Kentucky live in a city. I have a lot of cities in my district. I represent Georgetown, my hometown, which is the fastest growing city in Kentucky and the 7th largest city in Kentucky. I also represent small towns like Dry Ridge and Crittenden, Williamstown, Corinth, up in Grant County, and cities like Stamping Ground and Sadieville that only have a couple hundred residents but are still incredibly important to our region. And then up into northern Kentucky, two larger cities, Taylor Mill and Independence, and even a precinct in Covington. They all have a certain kind of character and pride in their cities. They want their cities to be safe, they want them to be accessible, they want people to be able to stay home for the amenities that modern society demands. And it's a really great part of Kentucky, and I'm proud to have represented it now for almost 16 years and appreciate the fact that the folks in my cities and in the rural parts of my district keep sending me back to Frankfort to represent them in the Senate.